Thank you, sir.
This your post on Facebook. The minister thinks you're just sending all of us on a wild goose chase. Is that what your intent was when you put it up yesterday?
Why is he holding information back then?
What information does he have to give that he has?
In 2013, he was Deputy Minister for Information. I have a copy of his statement when His Excellency President Mahama was traveling out of the country. He was very clear as to the statement that he put out, that the President was traveling with a number of people, i.e. a delegation. He went further to state the persons who were traveling with the President at the time in 2013. And this statement is on the 5th of December 2013. He also went further to even let Ghanaians know the capacity upon which these people were traveling with the President, and as to the role that they have to play when they travel with the President. What changed? So as we speak, you and I are not aware of the delegation that is traveling with the President. His own letter indicates that he is going to bring in investments to Ghana. Are you aware whether the Minister of Trade is part of this delegation or not?
Yes, I am. The minister.
Are you aware?
Hold on. So the minister hold on a second.
There's no official statement to that.
Just hold on. I just had an interview with Felix Kwachiofosi before you came on the line. He's told me that the Minister for Trade is on board. He's mentioned all the people who are on board, but that's really inconsequential. It has nothing to do with the private jet we were talking about.
They went by which flight?
I'm not sure the people who went on the delegation is what you question. So let's restrict ourselves to the flight you talked about. You said there was a private jet, MBAEP, left Accra this morning. That's yesterday. You've talked about the cost and talked about it going to Germany and continue to Japan and then to Singapore. What story is that?
So in which of the things that you just read was specific about anybody there? So that is why I'm saying that let me set the premise for you to understand. The premise is that I am interested with the people that the President traveled with, and the President himself, not just the President. So my point is that yes, the private jet left the shores of this country yesterday morning. As to the people that were inside that private jet, I do not know. It is the minister who can tell us as to how those people traveled. Has he been able to tell you how those people traveled? Is it the case that the President is meeting the private jet somewhere and continue to other places and he probably even bring him back to Ghana? Was it an afterthought?
Are you speaking on probabilities now?
I am saying, because you see, I am not the one taking the 78 million Ghana cedis that Parliament approved for the Minister of Communication.
No. Honorable Vincent Ekow Assafuah. The private jet.
I am not the minister.
No. Just hold on. Just hold on. Let's land this aircraft successfully. You talked about a private jet that flew out of this country.
Yes.
Are you suggesting that private jet was carrying any member of President Mahama's delegation, or carrying himself, or would meet him somewhere and carry him? Is that what you're saying? Because I just spoke to the minister. He has said that the president. He said the president and his team traveled via Emirates, and that
is what he is telling you.
He's just spoken about that. Now he has said.
He been able to give you evidence to that effect?
I have just asked him whether perhaps members of the delegation would have flown private. He said no. That is also not correct. Now, if you are the one making the claim, and as a lawyer and a student of criminal law, you are the one making the claim now, alleging, and you would be the onus on you is to prove. Do you have any proof to suggest that private jet you mentioned, MBAEP, that left Accra yesterday, carried anybody from Jubilee House in relation in any way to the trip to Japan and Malaysia? Is there any truth in that claim of yours?
Mario, to even set the record straight, not all the time that the one making allegation will have to prove. Sometimes the burden will have to shift. So get that straight.
Yes, but those exceptions are on very, very few occasions when, for instance...
So I'm just trying to let you know there are exceptions to that effect.
No, but not related to this matter that you're making. So in this case, the burden is on you to prove.
No, hold on. The point I'm making to you is that I have made a Facebook post that seek answers from government. It is within my rights as a member of parliament to seek answers with regards to how my president is traveling out of the country, the amount of money that it is costing the taxpayer, the people that he is going with because they are going to be paid per diem. All this information should not be hidden from us.
But you see,
so, yes,
but you see, you're not asking questions. You're making a statement. If you were asking a question, then answers would be given.
But I have to read my post again, because second paragraph I said, if the jet proceeds to this place, the third paragraph, so I use conditional statement. That's what I'm saying, that you have to take your time and read what I wrote, because I took my time to write it.
Okay.
And I knew what I was doing.
Okay. Let me tell you something. I mean, as a journalist, when I ask questions, half of the time I have an idea what the answer is, or at least I even know what the answer is. As a lawyer, you yourself being a lawyer, if you go to cross-examine, most of the times you have an idea what the answer would be, or what the answer is before you even ask.
You can have an idea,
so,
and you can also know that.
So what is the idea that you have before you ask this question? So if you
I
came out,
with you on,
no, so you have come out to say
regard.
this. The government has said no, it is not true. Now it is your turn to produce the hard facts to prove your claim. Otherwise, you withdraw and apologize. That's the best thing to do. Huh?
I disagree with you on that. You can have an idea as to the answer that you may seek. You can also have some doubt as to how the travel actually went on. So when those doubts are there, there is every right that is within you to be able to seek answers from the ones who can give you the information.
Okay.
So I am suggesting to you that I do not think that the president and his delegation, all of them, went on with the Emirates flight that they are talking about. In any case, why did they hide all this information from us? Why are they now saying all these things? When their earlier posts and their earlier communications before this particular term, they were telling the people of Ghana everything. Is it the case that it is an issue of national security, as I have been told by some of their people, even on the floor of Parliament, the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Assafuah, had cause to tell me that it's an issue of national security. My own brother, who just passed on, Dr. Omane Boama, had cause to tell me that it's an issue of national security and we should be very careful as to how we handle it. Just about 9 months ago, it wasn't an issue of national security. Okay. So I want to understand why they have to hide this information from us.
Okay. So I spoke to Honorable Felix Kwachufo not long ago. He has said to me, one, the president traveled on Emirates. Two, there was no private jet involved in their travel. These are the things he has said. Do you have any contrary facts?
As you speak, I do not have any contrary facts, but has he been able to give you any?
So if you don't have any contrary
evidence
facts,
to that fact?
If you don't have any contrary facts, it means then that you admit, or you have to admit what they have said, unless you have.
No, unless they give me an evidence, because I am saying that I have doubt.
But what other evidence? If I said to you that I'm sitting in
there
my
should
studio,
be evidence that indeed there should be.
If I said to you that
have you seen the manifest?
I'm in my studio speaking to you
now.
Have
you seen the manifest?
But what's the need for that? I mean, they have said.
Why?
To you that
because the government communications minister told you that they all traveled with Emirates.
Yeah, but you have to have a reason to. There's something called reasonable doubt. I have not seen the reasonable doubt you have created for which you'll be asking for passenger manifest.
Assuming I am wrong, what stops him, the one that we are paying, from giving us those information?
But should he keep responding and following up and giving information on anybody who has any doubt that is not reasonable? If the doubt is not reasonable, why waste your time on it?
Go and check the publication that was made on the 22nd September 2022 by Eugene Ahem, responding to the Honorable Hujjatu Ablakwa, when he lied about similar matters. I am not saying I'm lying, but I'm just saying that it was correct that he lied. And in fact, the statement mentioned Hujjatu Ablakwa and called him out as to the things that he said, which was not true. So I am a member of Parliament. For Christ's sake, you have to understand that, and I have every right within I have every opportunity and I have every right to be able to ask some of these questions, especially when I have doubts.
But that doesn't include sending the whole nation on a wild goose chase, making speculations that have not been proven in any way, which speculations you can actually say are false or pure lies. Because
according to their own standard. According to their own standard. According to their own standard, because there were a number of times that they themselves did not have any evidence whatsoever.
Let's forget that history. Let's forget that history.
An official statement called them out.
No, let's deal with the instance.
But they have not been able to call me out with any evidence. They should be able to tell me that, Vincent, these people went on Emirates, like this is the manifest, this is probably their boarding ticket or what have you.
And if they have not been able to prove that, if they do that, would you apologize?
Of course, that's one I will know.
But now
in any case, remember that even the statement that I put out itself did not even mention them.
Oh, okay. But
of course, we can have that conversation. But I am just saying that.
So your statement is not. So you're not relating to the president of Ghana in that your private jet matter or his team.
I was relating to the president and the delegation at the same time. But as I said, because...
You said you've not mentioned name, but you've just mentioned name now.
Because, you see, if I'm writing, I have to be very careful as to what I write. That's why I'm telling you that I knew what I was writing. And I knew what I wanted to achieve.
Okay, so what have you achieved? What would you say you've achieved over the past 24 hours?
See, had it not been, that's my statement, would you have even known the people who traveled with the president? Assuming
if I needed it, I would have asked for it, but I wouldn't go and speculate. In fact, I don't even want you to be talking about who the president traveled, because that was in the cracks of your message. Your message was about the vehicle of transport or of travel, and you said I was a private jet. In fact, I've seen on social media some members of your party sharing photographs of the president by a propeller jet, and that has been dismissed as being the flight he went with.
Well, I cannot answer to those ones.
Yeah, so you have it. So I'm not even putting that to you. But who were on this private jet of yours that left 7 a.m. yesterday?
I have told you on countless occasions that the information that I had and the sources that I had suggested that there was something fishy. There was something fishy.
So what's the fish? Now tell us what the fish is, because now the guy has told us his eyes. So tell us what the fish is, and we can go look for it.
But you have not seen any evidence, and you think that you're okay with what he has been told, or what you have been told.
You see, the reason I'm speaking to you the way I'm speaking to you is that your colleague for Asin South a few months ago had made a similar statement relating to an aircraft coming into Ghana. And after a week or two of back and forth on the arguments, back and forth and shouting, it ended nowhere. And now what you have said, based on what the government has said, it appears that there isn't any fact in your claim until you provide it, and it appears you don't have it to share with me, at least not now. So it's almost like we are on a wild goose chase, and that becomes a problem.
You should be interested in the Emirates manifest. That is why I'm surprised. You should be interested in the manifest.
What for?
Because the government, what for? Don't you think that you as a journalist, you should be interested in the people who are traveling with the president?
Yes, but I should have a reason to doubt what the government has said.
But I have a reason. I am telling you that.
But your reason is not grounded on anything we have seen so far. At least say to me that
Says who? I'm telling you that the information that I had suggested that these people did not go with the president.
So say to
some
me,
of them did not go with the president.
So say to me that it is
not
true.
I see the manifest.
No.
I cannot believe what the minister is saying.
So forget the manifest. You come out and say to us that I have a contrary evidence. That private jet carries 12 passengers. It took person A, B, C, D. They are going through Germany. They would continue to Japan and eventually to Singapore and return to Ghana. And that all the present
all of them I said if. All of them I said if. Please sit with it well. If the jet, not the president, if the jet
carrying who? The jet carrying who?
Jet proceeds. That's what I'm saying, that as we speak, I know that the president and his delegation, as at least per the statement that they themselves put out, were traveling. But as to how they traveled, Omaru, you are not aware. If you are not interested, I am interested. So I am asking questions as to how they traveled, the people that they traveled with, as to whether all of them went with the commercial flight. So the minister can tell you that, yes, we travel with a commercial flight. But if you believe it, that is your issue. I will not believe it. I can only believe it when I have seen the commercial air flight manifest. Without the manifest, I cannot believe what the minister is saying because I have my suspicions.
Okay. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you, my brother.
That's Honorable Vincent Ekow Assafuah. He is Member of Parliament for Old Tafo, former Deputy Minister. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM.